Hello there, my name is Hocus Pocus, and welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. This is episode 105 of the series, and if you're with me for episode 104, you will immediately recognize where we are stood at the moment. We are currently stood in front of our brand new iron farm, which we built in the last episode, of course. And I quickly have to apologize today, guys. If I sound a little bit nasally, it's because my nose is running really badly, and there's not an easy way to control it. So I might sound a little bit different today, but hopefully you guys can bear with it. Anyway, between episodes, I've been AFK here for a little bit, and you can see we're getting some good loot here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of iron and a half. Also over a stack of poppy as well, which is nice. Poppies, I should say. And then if we climb up into the farm itself, you can see on the right hand side we've currently got 2 cells, and on the left hand side we've got 3. So you might realize as well that things look a bit different since last episode, if you saw that one, of course. And the difference is that we've obviously changed up the design here, and we actually came up with this design just before I released Saturday's video, which was of course a tutorial on how to build this. And I think really what it does is just make sure that the villagers can use their workstations, of course, and it also raises them up ever so slightly so that they don't have the chance to spawn golems down on the floor as well, because we did have an issue where we moved them down ever so slightly and the golems began to spawn underneath the farm, down on the floor, around here, that sort of thing. And of course we don't want that to happen, so I raised them up a little bit. As you can see, the looms now just about peek over the top of these slabs here, and that of course just allows the farm to work a bit more correctly and stop spawns from occurring in places we don't want them to be. So I think to start out today's video, we will again hopefully just improve on the farm a little bit here, and I want to add in this cell here so that we've got 3 on both sides. Should hopefully improve the efficiency a little bit, and that will bring us up to what we've got: 32 villagers there, 32 there, so that's a total of 64, and then another 16 here, which brings us up to a total of 80. So another 16 will bring us up to a total of 96, I believe. I think I did the calculations right there. So 16, 32, add another 32 is 64, add a 16 there is 74, add the 6 is 80, and then another 16 is 96. Yeah, I'm quite positive I got the maths right there. So as I said, let's try and get ourselves up another cell to improve efficiencies here, and hopefully we've got the materials required. I can't actually remember what position we left ourselves in here. We've definitely got the looms, so we're going to need 16 of those. Let's quickly count those out. 16 looms. Have we got any of the grey stained glass? We do. That's good. We're going to need some of these slabs here, some of these slabs, and we also of course need the beds, which we've got 2 of already. So we're going to need another 14 beds, and that should be about that. So we'll take our wool. We will also take our logs here so that we can craft the beds. Let's just see how many we can make. Let me see here. 32. Let's just go with that amount so far, and then do this. Okay, so we're gonna I think we're gonna be about 2 beds short in total here. So let's go ahead and pop those in and do that. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Right, so we need 2 more beds. And as you can see, there's an iron golem currently suffering for his life, which is unfortunate for him, but good for us because that will add to our iron collection there. And what I'll do, guys, is I'll quickly fly over to the mob farm here, grab us some more string to craft more wool, and we'll be right back. There we go, we've managed to get ourselves some more string from the mob farm, and as you can see, we've got a few more golems coming into the system here, which is nice. Let me quickly climb up and take a look. Okay, so spawns are looking quite good at the moment, which is nice because of course we've only got 5 cells, and we're going to need to add quite a few more for this to become overly efficient here. Oops, I didn't mean to hit you, guy, but if you could fall in, that'd be great. There you go. I want to hit your friend here because he looks like he's a little bit stuck. There we go. Should be able to flow down into the system nicely now. And again, here is another problem which I can't explain because this is a half slab here, so it shouldn't be able to spawn, but we do sometimes get golems spawning up there as well. So let me quickly take him down, because of course when they spawn over here we have to just kill them manually, which is a shame. Come on, dude, just come down so that I can collect your loot as well. Why isn't... Okay, is he... Okay, he's dead. Alright, there we go. Anyway, as we were about to do, let's craft up some of this into wool so that we should have enough to craft our beds. We're going to need more of those, some more of that, and 2 more beds, and that should be us about ready to go ahead and construct this next layer. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that cell there where it needs to be with all the materials, of course, and then I'll bring you guys back in for the next section of the video. Just about finishing up here, you guys, putting in the wooden slabs across the top of the glass here, which of course, if you didn't know, these aren't a necessity, or at least they shouldn't be, because mobs aren't able to spawn on glass, but I just placed them in for looks, pretty much, just to keep things looking nice and clean. And of course we need to place in the next 2 beds of the up and coming cell. So let's go ahead and put those in here. Like so. Is that high enough? I can never remember how high they need to be. I think that is the right height there. So we need to pop one in there. Yeah, that's the correct height. And we need to pop one in like that. And then of course we need to somehow get out of here. So let's get rid of these guys. And I think if you do that, there you go, get into sort of a flight mode. You can crawl out from underneath the bed, which is a nice little way to escape the cell when you need to leave. And then we need to come under here, get rid of all of these slabs, of course, so that the golems can't spawn on the beds, because that isn't what we want. Of course, we want them to spawn into the water so that they are dragged down to their doom. So here we go, just getting these last few slabs. I'm going to actually have to build up here, I think. That might be a sensible idea. So let's take some wood, go up the side of the tree, and then just do this. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so let me just try and grab all of the slabs, because we're going to need them for future segments of this build. Take that down. There we go. Bring the pickaxe back into play. Get rid of all of this up there. Perfect. Okay, so the next step is, of course, to get the villagers up there, and that's such a tedious task. I hope that we've got enough left here. Of course, I've been moving them from this section up into the farm, and I did all of that off camera, and it took such a long time. It really is a bit of a drag moving these villagers around. And if any of you guys have an easy way to do it, then let me know, because at the moment what I do is I come to the front here and I build a stone wall 2 high on either side, make a path all the way up to a ladder that leads up into the cell, and I kind of just use water buckets and my player to force them through the system. And then once, of course, they make it to the ladder, they get in there, and then I just have a little fence gate up there somewhere that stops them from leaving again. Although most of the time they do hang around in the area near their bed and their workstation, but you know, it's a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes to get it done. So if you guys have any easier ways, then please do let me know. But I'm going to take a bit of time here to fill up this cell over here, of course, because this one is the next in the system. We've got our third cell on the right hand side now, and it is currently devoid of villagers. So I'm going to take a bit of time off camera here to get that filled up, and then once I've got all of the villagers in there, I'll bring you guys back in to check it out. And hopefully the rates of our farm will just continue to rise, because at the moment we're doing very good. Since last time that we checked the chest, if I show you again, we've gone up by probably about a stack of iron, almost, maybe a little bit more, I think. So well, no, it'd be a little bit less, wouldn't it? Yeah, a little bit less than a stack. So probably about 10 more iron, and we've gone up a stack since last time. So this thing is producing good amounts of materials for us at the moment, which is nice. Okay, guys, here we go. As you can see on the right-hand side, we now have 3 cells, similarly to the left-hand side, which means we're perfectly balanced, as all things should be. And now we are going to, of course, move on to something else before I quickly show you what it looks like inside of the cell. So, of course, we've got our 16 villagers in there, and they've all taken up their new role as shepherds. There you go. Look, shepherd, novice, no experience yet because I haven't traded at all with these guys, and we never probably will. But this is good. This means now that with the extra 16 villagers, we should have roughly... wow, I mean, it depends really where we are in terms of the multiples of 20, but we should have roughly an extra chance to spawn another golem during the spawning moments that these villagers go through. So there are certain parameters they have to meet before they can spawn golems. Within a certain amount of ticks, they've had to have gone to bed to sleep, and they've also had to have interacted with their function block here, which of course is the loom. And once they've done those 2 things, there's a certain period of time in which they are able to spawn golems, which for me seems to be towards the end of the Minecraft day cycle. And then usually you get some in the morning as well, but not as many as you will once the sun, of course, gets to around this area in the sky here. So yeah, as I say, hopefully the extra cell should improve our spawn rates, increase the efficiency of this farm, and just allow us to generate a lot more iron than we currently are. So let me take a quick step back from things and analyze where we are in terms of the video and in terms of things that we need to get through, and I'll bring you guys back in for the next part of this episode. Back down in the ravine base, you guys, and I just quickly want to drop off a few things before we progress here. So I'm going to put the bow away. I was only using that really to kill any of the iron golems that, of course, escape from the farm. And I also need to top up my food because we're a little bit low on that. So let me grab some fish, some cooked cod. I'll just take that half stack there, add that to what we've already got. That is good. And I just quickly wanted to mention as well that anytime that we're down in the base here, the iron golem farm is still going to function because it's right above us somewhere on the surface. So that is a very good location for us to have built it. And of course, the villager breeding area was purposely built up there as well for that to be the case. So Luckily for us, even when we're hanging around in the base down here, the iron golems should continue to spawn, continue to die, and of course the iron should continue to be collected. So we don't need to worry about where we are in the world as long as we're somewhere around our base. However, I think that the next thing we're going to do is try again with the wool farm, of course, to get that functioning. So I'm going to quickly scour YouTube for some tutorials on how to create automatic wool farms in 1.14. See if there's any designs that we could implement into the space that we've got, because of course we are quite limited in that regard. And if there's anything that pops up, I'll bring you guys back in so that we can try and install it into our area here, because I really do want to get this thing working, and I feel kind of bad that it doesn't at the moment. So let's see what we can do about this problem. Alright guys, so I think I've got a sort of idea about what we can do here. However, it's going to involve actually sacrificing one of the sheep here. So I think what we'll do is we'll separate we'll put a separating block down the center of this farm and only have 2 sheep in each cell, and we will change the redstone to look something like this. So first of all, of course, we need to take these out so we can access it, and then we're going to want to take these blocks out and remove these guys, and then also get rid of this one, of course, because we don't need the center mechanism anymore. Get rid of these guys and also the pistons below. And then we're going to get rid of these and fill that back in with stone all the way to there. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and fill this in with stone as well. There we go. And then we'll place that guy there, and then just a piece of redstone on top of each one. Then what I want to do is make sure we've actually got a pair of shears in both of the dispensers, of course, so that we can see if this thing's working or not. And we might have to go off camera for a bit to get some results before you guys can see it, because you know this can be very temperamental, these farms, and waiting around for sheep to regrow their wool and eat and that type of stuff. It doesn't always happen as quickly as you'd like it to. So what we'll do is we'll bring the shears back over, install the system, and I will just keep a close eye on it off camera, and if I can catch it in action, I'll bring you guys back in, of course. If not, I'll just confirm whether or not it is working basically by telling you yes or no, but we do need to see what we can do here to get rid of one of the sheep. So let's go ahead and pop some shears in there. So we've got shears in that side, shears in that side. Of course, this dispenser is actually free to leave now, but we're going to need to put a different block in its place. Let's see what we can do. Maybe for now we'll just place glass in the center. So what glass have we got here? We've got white glass. If we've got any white glass over at small storage, we'll grab that quickly. Okay, white glass grabbed. So let's go ahead and do this, I think. And then we will take this opportunity to unfortunately say goodbye to one of our sheep. Pop that glass block in there. Then we can go ahead and remove this one as well. And then we'll put one more right there. Fill that one back in, and now as you can see we've got 2 sheep in there. However, they are confined just to a 1 block wide gap. So what we should hopefully see is that when the grass grows back and they want to regrow their wool, which we will try to speed up here if we've got any shears. We do not, unfortunately. I will do that in a second though. So what we'll do is we'll shear the sheep. Hopefully the grass can regrow as quickly as possible. We will need to redesign these cells as well, because of course this doesn't look very good with all the holes and the missing pieces and that kind of stuff. So we will have a bit of a redesign here once we've figured out what's going on. And then I guess I'll just bring you guys back in when we can confirm if this works or not. Unfortunately, no results yet, you guys, but I brought you back in for a different reason. So I just was thinking about the reasons why this might not be working, and I've had a bit of an idea. So if we come up to the top here and look at this switch, press it. As you can see, pressing it actually activates those trapdoors. So if we turn it back on again, you can see that they're flat once more, which means that this could be having some sort of effect on the mechanism. So I'm going to actually test that here. If I remove the lamp, get some shears in this one, get some shears in this one, and then just make our way back out like so. We will test whether or not that has an effect on the mechanism. See, I don't have enough redstone knowledge to know offhand whether it will or not, but you never know. So let's just see if that does have any effect on the system. And of course, if this one starts to work again, then we can actually reinstate this design back into this cell, but change up the way that it's lighted in there. So hopefully this does work, and if not, then hopefully this one works. So we've got 2 solutions here that could potentially affect the outcome of this farm. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that this farm can once again bask in the glory of working. Oh, okay guys, so that was a big sigh of relief right there. If the acting wasn't good enough. But as you can see, this guy has been sheared, the grass has been eaten, and Yes, that does mean that what was affecting this is the lighting, which I'm so glad we finally discovered, because I've really been frustrated about this wool farm, thinking like, why doesn't it work? Why is this happening to us? Thinking that maybe we're just getting unlucky or something, and I really didn't know what to do. So luckily for us, we can actually reinstall the design that we once had. So this is going to take some doing now that we've actually destroyed the sheep farm ever so slightly here. But what we'll do is we'll tear out those blocks, and we will firstly put our observer back in like so. And then down here we have the we had the 3 redstone repeaters. So again, we're going to want to put in our blocks like this, and then line those up like so, and they will need a 1 tick delay. And then we need to bring in some of the pistons I think we had in here, right? The sticky pistons. So we had 3 sticky pistons like this. There we go. And then finally on those pistons we had the observers facing like this. And then on top of these blocks here we need some of this. So we need to go like this. I don't really mind what order we do that in. That is fine by me. And then we can go ahead and pop those back up. And then what we want to do is come in here and do something like this. There we go. So we've got our dispensers back in place, and now we need to put some glass back there, break this one, take that block away. That's going to end up going into the farm, but who cares really? At least we got things back and working again. And then we're going to need also some wheat to breed these guys back up. Okay guys, as you can tell by my experience level right now, we somehow managed to die just finding wheat, which doesn't sound like something that should happen, and it definitely isn't something that should happen. And I've just also figured out that if we don't hurry up and cover this block, the sheep could be on his way out, so we'll do that quickly. But the reason why I died was because I tried to fly up to the animal farm area to grab some wheat, and you know, hit the roof a few times, or the ceiling I should say. Lost a bit of health, thought, oh, I'll just give it another crack, I'll be alright this time, and I wasn't alright. I hit the ceiling again and subsequently died, so there goes however many levels we had. I think it was quite a few. Not that I'm too worried, of course, because the Guardian Farm will reinstate those as quickly as we need them, but I think the next step here is to, and as you can see, the dispenser fired right there, which is good to see. The next step here is to actually clear up all of these farms and make sure they're all functioning properly, so that involves getting rid of the light in each of them. And then what we want to do from there is probably try to make enough shears that we can actually deposit one set in each of these dispensers. So I'm going to go ahead and start tidying up these farms. Of course that involves just getting rid of the lamp, and that is easy enough. You just climb up to the top, break this guy, fall down here, do that, and then just get yourself out with any random block like so. So yeah, as I said, let me go ahead and get these farms sorted out so that they should be functioning, and I'll bring you guys back in for the next step. So to fix the lighting issue, we're going to use another one of the new 1.14 blocks, and that is of course the lantern. So I need about 2 stacks of nuggets here. So let's do that, and then this. That's 62, and then that should be just enough for us to go like this and like that, and then that creates a 16 lanterns, which should be a perfect amount for us to install into the farm. And of course the iron that I'm using here is taken from the iron farm, so we're just about to get that put to use. And I've just realized as well that we're going to need some dark oak slabs, so let's go ahead and instate ourselves with some of those, which we could probably find already crafted, or at least I'm hoping so, over at the small storage. Let's see, 10 and a full stack. We'll take the full stack, and that should be more than enough for us. We only need 16 of those, so as I say, way more than enough that we'll need. However, it's always good to have a few extra just in case. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a slab back into the gap, and then we will place a lantern underneath the slab, so that hopefully we can adequately light up these cells. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go like this, pop that guy in, then pop that in just above the dispenser. That allows us to also access the dispenser, which of course is a good feature to have there. And then we'll just keep doing the same on each cell here. So slab, lantern, perfect. And then again, block out, slab in, lantern. So I'm going to get these wrapped up here, and then we'll put the rest of the iron to use, probably in the form of shears. Whoopsie daisy, so I actually managed to kill another sheep here with the axe, unfortunately. So we're going to have to breed once again these guys, which is no issue. And I'm just keeping the slabs in there to stop this guy from hopping up and running into the back. But throughout all of the other cells, we've actually just gone ahead and removed the trapdoors, because what happens is when the mechanism fires, it causes the trapdoors to lower and obviously raised up again as well once it fires at a later point. So I figured why not just get rid of those. And there you can see the machine in action. Unfortunately, we might have to think of a different solution though, because you can see that the wall does occasionally get trapped at the top there, but that makes it, having a block on top of these dispensers makes it very difficult to refill them. So we're gonna have to think about that a little bit, I think, just to make sure that we can get a solution that works. But for now, I'll leave the blocks out, and we've got the same thing here because of course we've got a little guy in there, so we don't want him jumping out. So we've got 2 slabs in once again to prevent that. At the moment, we're left with about 2.5 stacks of iron, so I'm just gonna go ahead and craft some of this up into shears. We're just going to deposit these shears throughout the system here, so any dispenser that doesn't have them at the moment. So we've got some in there, none in there, so we'll just pop some into the empty dispensers like this. And I'm going to use up all of the iron because of course we took it from the iron farm, which is still functioning right now to gather us more of the good stuff. And it was only about 1 stack and 3/4, so nowhere near taking the entire amount out. So we don't have to worry about running out there. So as I said, let me just refill these dispensers and then we'll think about ending today's video. Okay, you guys, welcome back to the video for the last time for today. So all of these shears are in place. We have at least 1 pair of shears in each of the dispensers here. So I'm just going to let those run down because, as you can see, it does cause a little bit of lag. So we probably don't want this thing running all of the time if we can help it. So there is that to consider. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, then please drop a like down below. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback, put those in the comment section down below as well, and I will be sure to respond to those. And finally, if you're new around here or haven't subscribed yet, then be sure to hit that red subscribe button and also the bell notification button if that's something you might be interested in. That will allow you to stay up to date with this series and any other videos that we do decide to post. So once again, you guys, it's great to have you here. I'm very grateful for the support. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come and watch my video. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and of course, I will catch you all in the next video. Bye for now.